Banasri, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. See, the first class, day before yesterday, we discussed manual testing learning objectives, roadmap for our program. See, extension before going to start first lesson SDLC. One more topic. Uh, I will give a brief introduction about software test process and types of software. See, first topic, software test process, or you can say STLC, software testing life cycle. Software testing life cycle. You disconnected Banasri. Join through WebEx. Say,
No, sir. I am on WebEx.
okay, cool. Say, test process may vary from one company to another, but what we are going to discuss is standard process. Standard process. Some companies may not follow formal process, but ours is standard process. Okay. See, in software test process, we have four phases. Four phases of software test process. What are the four phases? Can you tell me, Kamal? Yesterday, day before yesterday, I gave the brief idea. Tell me, what are the four phases of software test process? Today I will elaborate it. Kamal, four phases of software test process.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Uh, Test planning,
test planning.
test design,
Ah,
test execution, and test closure.
test closure. Good. See, first test planning. First phase, test planning. See, in order to understand software test phases, this is the pattern. First, input, or you can say references. Input or references. Next, tasks. Next, output. Firoj Rai. Firoj Rai, can you hear me? Rai. Okay. See, as per IEEE documentation standard, some mandatory inputs and optional inputs are there. Can you tell me, Banasri, what are the mandatory inputs for test planning or reference documents for test planning phase?
Sir, SRS software requirement
Okay,
specification.
okay. Document name, whatever it might be. SRS, some companies call CRS, customer requirement specification, some companies software requirement specification. Like, see, requirements, generic name, requirements. It is mandatory for formal process. Okay, next, requirements. Hmm.
Then test data also planning.
Huh?
You,
Requirements. Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay, cool. Continue, Navina. What are the important documents, reference documents for test planning phase?
Sir, design doc also.
Design optional. Continue, Navina.
Business requirements,
One
sir.
minute, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Requirements already covered. Why business requirements? We require software requirements for test planning. Business requirements for that one,
Okay.
software
Test
development.
environment, sir.
Huh?
Test environment.
Test
Any
environment is document.
No, not document.
Okay, you cool. Continue, Navina.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Uh, can you repeat
requirements,
the?
reference documents for test planning phase. Okay. Project plan, put mute. Project plan. Next, test strategy. These three are the mandatory inputs. See, based on project plan, test lead or team lead prepares test plan. Okay, next, optional inputs. Optional inputs. Design docs, high level design and low level design. Design documents, helpful. Next, process guidelines docs. Process guidelines docs, one or more. Next, corporate standards, company standards. Corporate standards doc. Etc. See, these are the reference documents for, or you can say input for test planning phase. Next, tasks. Tell me, Navina, what are the important tasks? Tasks in planning phase. Firoj Rai, you are not responding, Firoj. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like a risk analysis.
First, analyzing
Analyzing
requirements.
the requirements.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
no risk analysis. Okay. See, first
Analyzing.
one. First one.
Understanding and analyzing the
Understanding.
requirements.
Good. Understanding and analyzing. Analyzing the requirements. Next, after analyzing the requirements, risk analysis, feasibilities, risk analysis. Next, continue Banasri. Next, requirements analyzed, risk analysis also over. What is the next task?
Then scope
Mm,
and out of scope features.
that all we analyze in risk analysis. Okay, next. See, requirements okay. Strategy required. Strategy. Suppose general requirement going to another city. That is requirement. Strategy. How to go.
Yeah, testing approach.
Test approach. Or you can say test strategy. Test strategy implementation. Test strategy implementation. Say, don't confuse. Test strategy. This is company level document. It describes all test levels and test types within those test levels. Suppose our company test strategy described 26 test types. How to test functional testing, security, functionality testing, security testing, usability testing, how to conduct. Suppose for our project only two test types required, functionality testing and security testing. Test lead implements those two types test strategy only. Suppose for another project, four types required. Example, functionality testing, performance testing, usability testing and security testing. That test lead implements that strategy. See, test strategy is company level documents. It is for one or more projects. Test lead implements test strategy for specific project. See, test strategy implementation. See, first requirements over, next how to test over, next test estimations, high level task, test estimations, test estimations in terms of scope of the project, scope of the project. Next priority, available resources. Second, next priority, available resources. Resources in the sense human resources as well as environmental resources. Next, time. Next, budget, etc. These are the considerable factors for test estimations. Scope of the project, seriousness of the project. Example, ERP project is there, means industry automation. Here automation means computerization. ERP project is there. Next, banking project is there. Suppose e-banking, internet banking. Which one is say serious project, Ahmad Khan? ERP project or e-banking project? Ahmad Khan. Khan, can you hear me? Hello? Okay. You tell me, Kamal, which one is serious project? ERP project. ERP means enterprise resource planning. ERP project or e-banking project? Kamal.
Sir, what was the question?
Concentrate, Kamal. My question is scope of the project, concept, scope of the project means seriousness of the project. Suppose ERP project is there and e-banking, internet banking project is there. Which one is serious project?
ERP, sir?
ERP. No. Okay, ERP also serious project, but e-banking more serious. Why? Suppose ERP project is not working for 1 hour or 1 day. Okay, problem, but not much. Why? All that industry resources under the control of that industry. Suppose HR, sales and distribution, marketing, stores, etc. They can take attendance manually. After rectifying the problem, they can enter the data. Suppose e-banking system not working for 1 hour or 1 day. See, all customers of the bank not under the control of the bank. So customer get dissatisfaction. See, e-banking, internet banking software, internet banking application is serious application. Scope of the project. Understand this concept, Banasri? Scope, seriousness of the project.
Yeah, yes.
Generally, financial projects having more scope than other projects, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, first we have to consider, test lead has to consider scope of the project. Next, available resources, time, last priority, budget. Okay, next requirements over, risk analysis over, how to test, strategy implementation also over, estimations over. Next, what is the next task? Tell me, Navina.
Sir, I think it's a team formation.
Team formation, test plan documentation. Which one is first?
Team formation, sir.
Yes, as per formal process, team formation is first. Why? All team members contribution required for test plan documentation. See, author of the test plan, test lead or team lead, but all team members contribution required. all team members contribution required. See, team formation. Next, test plan documentation. Test plan documentation. See, in test planning chapter, I will explain how to uh, document test plan. Just a brief idea. See, in this test plan, you can find test approach, next features to be tested, features not to be tested, next exit criteria, entry criteria, suspension criteria, schedule, roles and responsibilities, etc. See, exit criteria means it describes when to start testing. Exit criteria, entry criteria, when to start testing, exit criteria, when to stop testing, suspension criteria. What is suspension criteria, Banasri? Suspension criteria.
Yeah, when to stop testing
Temporarily.
temporarily. If any,
Suppose if outstanding bugs are more, that time temporarily we suspended testing.
yeah,
Okay, test plan documentation. See, apart from test plan documentation, one more thing also there. It is optional but important. Configuration, configuration management, configuration management planning. Can you tell me, Kamal, what is configuration management? Do you heard this term? This configuration management not only for testers, it is also for developers and other stakeholders of the project. See, developers also use configuration management. Business analyst use. Project management uses this configuration management. It is for all stakeholders of the project, not only for testing team. Can you tell me, Kamal, what is configuration management? What is the problem, Kamal? You are responding slowly. Say yes or no. Just interact.
Yes, sir. I don't know actually.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, cool. No problem. No issues. Ahmad Khan, do you have any idea configuration management? Khan. Ahmad Khan also not responding. Firoj Rai also not responding. Okay, try to respond. See, tell me, Banasri, what is configuration management?
yeah, sir. Tracking and controlling all the changes of all the documents and references related to testing activities or either software development activities. Means for testing purpose, it is testing activities.
Okay, cool. See, configuration management, storing and organizing all configurable items. Storing and organizing all configurable items. See, version control also comes under configuration management. See, already I told it is not only for testing team, also for other teams in software development. Okay, forget about other teams. Our testing team point of view, what is configuration item? Storing and organizing all configurable items, all configuration items is called configuration management. First of all, what is configuration item? See, what software and hardware we use for testing and what documents we produce during testing all comes under configuration management. What software and hardware we use and what documents we produce during testing all comes under configuration management. Okay, suppose documents, what documents we produce during testing? Test plan document, test case documents, one or more, test data, opened and closed defect reports, test summary report, etc. Next, traceability matrix documentation. What is traceability matrix, Navina? What is traceability matrix? Do you have any idea? What is the purpose of this document? See, test lead creates this document, but all team members update this document throughout the life cycle.
Yes, sir.
What is traceability matrix document? What is the functionality? Means purpose.
Sir, I forgot, sir.
Okay, cool. Banasri, have any idea?
Yes, sir. Mapping all the requirements to test cases.
Yes, mapping requirements with test cases. Mapping requirements with test cases. Then we can track requirements. All requirements are covered or not, and any duplicate test cases are there or not. See, mapping requirements with test cases. Nowadays, you can map defects also, so that you can identify what requirement failed, what requirement passed. See, traceability documents, author of this document test lead, but all team members update this document throughout the life cycle. Next, continue Navina. What is the next task? Only important tasks.
Define the test environment setup.
Yes, define test environment setup. Say, test lead defines test environment setup, means test lab setup. See, test lead knows what to install, server side and client side. Next, technical support people, network administrator or system administrator, they know how to install. See, here 3 steps: defining test environment setup, implementing test environment setup, next, verifying test environment setup. Test lead defines test environment setup based on SRS document. Next, technical support people implement test environment setup. Next, testers, means team members, verify test environment setup in test execution phase. See, these are the important tasks in this test planning stage. Next, output of this stage. Guess, Banasri, what is the output of this stage?
Sir, test plan
document. See, test planning phase. Kamal, can you tell me, for test planning phase, tell me the input, tasks and output. Quick, Kamal. Input are reference documents. Next, tasks. Next, output.
Input requirements. Test strategy. And optional outputs are design docs, process guidelines, docs, corporate standards docs.
Good.
Tasks are understanding and analyzing the requirements.
Good.
Risk analysis, test strategy implementation, test estimation.
Test estimations.
Yeah, meaning scope of the project, available resources, times, budget, etc.
These are the considerable factors.
Yeah. Then team information,
Team formation,
the team formation, test plan documentation,
configuration management planning,
configuration management, management
planning,
which is and traceability matrix, define test environment setup.
defining test environment setup. Good. Output test plan document. Next, come to second phase. Anyhow, this is just a brief idea only. We will discuss each and every topic in detailed manner in STLC chapter. STLC, software testing life cycle, or you can say software test process. Next, second phase, test design. Test design. Say full form of test planning phase, planning and control. Full form of the second phase, analysis and design. Next, as usual, input. What are the inputs? Identify, Navina. Input for test design stage, test design phase.
Outputs of the before stage, like test plan documentation.
Test plan documentation is activity. Document is output.
Oh, yes, sir. Document and I think requirements.
Okay, first requirements. Requirements is mandatory input for every stage.
Yes, sir.
Requirements. It is mandatory input or reference document for every phase of software test process. Requirements. Next, test plan. Next, if available, that mandatory, that optional inputs, design docs, etc. See, design docs, process guidelines docs, corporate standards doc, etc. Next, templates. Here, test case template. Next, test data template. Say, template means predefined format. See, difference is there in between template and document. Template means predefined format. Suppose bank application, that is format. After entering data, document. Okay. Say some companies use single template for test case as well as test data. Some companies prefer different templates for test data or test case. Okay. See, based on your company strategy, you can follow. Next, tasks. What are the important tasks? Guess, Kamal. Tasks in test design phase. Kamal. What are the important tasks in test design phase? Okay, Banasri, continue. Important tasks in test design phase.
Sir, test case preparation, high level test case preparation, and test scenarios. Low level test case means.
Low level case means test scenario.
Yeah. No. A test scenario means high level test plan, high level test cases, and steps. This is test case, low level test
See,
case.
test scenario outlines. Test scenario may have one or more test cases. Positive cases, negative cases, one or more test cases. See, before that, understanding requirements. Here, analyzation not required, just understanding requirements. Next, creating test scenarios, creating test scenarios, outlines. Next, deriving test cases from test scenarios. See, creating test cases. Next, test data collection. See, instead of creating or preparing, why I am using collection term. See, some test data we prepare. Example, phone number object is there. As per requirements, it has to take only numeric values, 10-digit numeric values. For that, you can prepare test data. Some test data we have to collect from customer. Example, cities information is there. That cities information based on customer's business. We have to collect the data from customer. Sometimes some data we have to collect from developers also. That's why term is test data collection. Test data collection. See, these are the important tasks in test design phase. Next, output. Output of this phase. Navina, tell me what is the output? What are
Yes, sir.
the
Yeah, this is a test case document.
test case documents, one or more. Next.
Yes. And I think this one's a data
Test
document.
data. Test data. Okay. See, next, third phase of test process, test execution. Test execution. Full form of this phase, implementation and execution. Here, what are the inputs or reference documents for test execution? Requirements, already we discussed. Requirements for all phases of test process. Requirements. Next, test plan. See, test plan describes entry criteria, exit criteria, suspension criteria, features to be tested, not to be tested, schedule, approach, etc. Test plan doc. Next, test case docs, test data. These are the mandatory inputs for formal test process. Next, some setup required, pre-setup required. That pre-setup is availability of readiness of test environment. Readiness of test environment. Geeta, did you join? Geeta. Just a Geeta joined.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I just
okay,
joined.
cool. See, readiness of test environment. Next, readiness of AUT, application under test. See, for test design, test environment not mandatory, test lab not mandatory. Using standalone missions also, you can prepare test cases and test data. But for execution, test environment mandatory. And readiness of AUT, AUT stands for application under test, also mandatory. Next, some templates also required. Here, important template, defect report template. Say during test execution, if you find any mismatch, means deviation from expected, you have to send defect reports to developers. Defect report template. Next, important tasks in this test execution phase. Can you tell me, Geeta, what are the important tasks in test execution phase? What is the initial task?
Verifying the test environment setup.
Good. Verifying test environment setup. Verifying test environment setup means test lab setup. Next, creating test batches. See, execution queue, test batches or test sets or test suites. Next, test execution. Test execution. Don't confuse. This test execution is phase. This test execution is task. See, we have some levels of test execution. Levels of test execution. What is the first level of test execution? Banasri, first level of test execution.
Sir, first is level sanity testing.
Good. Sanity testing. First level sanity testing. See, otherwise you can say smoke testing or BVT, build verification testing, or BAT, build acceptance testing. All these are synonyms. But some are saying sanity testing is different, smoke testing is different. That is controversy concept. But as per IEEE standards, these two are synonyms. Sanity, smoke, both same. But this is controversy concept. Okay, sanity testing. What is sanity testing, Navina? What is sanity testing? It is a level of test execution.
Correct, sir. It's like a basic test, verifying the build is acceptable for the with the basic executions.
You tell me, Geeta, what is sanity testing? First level of test execution, sanity testing. What is sanity testing?
Verifying whether the build is acceptable or not.
Okay. Verifying whether the build is acceptable or not by executing basic functionality tests. Example, login like basic functionality tests. Next, after build acceptance, next comprehensive testing means complete testing. Comprehensive testing means executing all possible test cases. Executing all possible test cases. Next, after comprehensive testing, if you find any mismatch, reporting defects. But in sanity testing, defect reporting not required. Just reject the build. Reject the build and send a note. Suppose login functionality not working, you can't forward. Just reject the build and provide the note. Next, in comprehensive testing means complete testing means executing all possible test cases. If you find any mismatch means deviation from expected, report defects. See, report defects using company prescribed template. Suppose if you are using manual process for defect management, use your company prescribed defect report template, enter defect details and send. Suppose your company using any tool for defect reporting means Bugzilla or Jira or issue tracker or PR tracker, launch the defect report tool, Every tool provides their own templates, its own template. Enter defect details and send. Reporting defects. After reporting defects, continue Banasri. After reporting defects, what is the next task?
Analyzing, sir.
Analyzing.
Analyzing the results means defects.
Track defects.
Yeah, tracking defects.
Track defects. Tracking for status. Whether the defects are fixed or not, or rejected or not, etc. Track defects. Next, after tracking, after receiving modified build, execute regression tests. See, and regression testing. Retesting. See, so many people are saying regression testing, but full form and regression testing. And regression testing. Regression testing on modified build, modified software build. Next, cycle process. After finding defects, report defects, track defects. Same. Regression testing, cycle 2. Regression testing, cycle 2. Next, same process. Regression testing, cycle 3, like this, up to getting quality product. Next, what is the next task? Suppose regression cycle is over. What is the next task? Banasri.
Final regression.
Yes, final regression. Final regression. See, in this final regression, generally we select cases from high defect density areas. Okay. Here output. Tell me, Banasri, output for this test execution phase. Output.
Sir, defects.
Defect reports.
Defect reports.
See, opened and closed. Opened and closed defect reports. Opened and closed defect reports. See, opened defect report. What is opened defect report, Geeta? What is opened? Suppose closed means after confirmation, testers close defects. What is opened defect report? Opened defect report. Geeta. Navina.
Yes, sir.
What is opened defect report?
After we get the defects, we'll send the defect report to the developers. After done the regression processing, we are closing the
closing. Okay, closing means after confirmation, testers close defects. But opened defects, what is opened defect? Say
before testing the product.
Not before testing, after testing only. Say opened defect means sometimes developers postpone defects due to time constraints. Only that one, low severity defects. Sometimes developers postpone some defects due to time constraints, etc. See, only cosmetic defects might be fixed in future builds. We need to store those opened defect reports also. Opened means not closed. postponed. Next,
Still not solved defects.
still not solved. Generally, they postpone low severity defects only, not high severity defects.
Okay.
Next, last phase of software test process, test closure. Test closure. See, or every phase requirements mandatory. See, one more output here. Tested software. Tested software. What are the important tasks in this last phase, test closure phase? Important tasks. See, initial task, evaluating the exit criteria. Evaluating the exit criteria. So you can find exit criteria in plan document, test plan document. It describes when to stop testing. Evaluating the exit criteria. Next, collecting all artifacts, means all documents from test activities. Collecting all artifacts from test activities. Next, test summary report. Test summary report. Test lead prepares this test summary report. See, creating test summary report. See, summarizing all test activities. Suppose 900 cases, 900 test cases prepared, 875 executed, some defects raised, some 200 or 300 defects raised, some fixed, means closed, after fixation closed, next some still opened. Total report summarizing all test activities. See, test lead prepares this document, but all team members' contribution required. Next, sending test deliverables. Test deliverables to customer. What are test deliverables, Banasri? Test deliverables.
So all the testing documents.
Yes. What documents we produce during testing? What documents we produce during testing? All comes under test deliverables. Test plan, test scenarios, test cases, test data, opened and closed defect reports, etc. Next, last one, optional task, improvement suggestions for future projects. See, improvement suggestions for future projects. See, this is a brief introduction about software test process or software test life cycle, STLC.
Sir, one question.
Tell me.
Sir, is there any template for test summary report?
Yes, for test summary report also template there.
And what test scenarios we can input in test summary report is high level test scenarios or?
See, 1 minute. First of all, test summary report is not high level or low level test cases. It is.
We have
just
include?
just
Yes.
just checklist.
Okay.
It is just a checklist summarizing all test activities. See, so many, see, some 1,000 cases prepared, 980 executed, next so and so defects raised, so are some are fixed, some are still open, like checklist only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. I got it.
template I will explain in that chapter, test process chapter. Okay, next, just a brief idea about software. Tomorrow we will discuss SDLC, software development life cycle. Before that, software. What is software? Tell me in your own words, Geeta, what is software? Geeta, what is software? Tell me in your own words. Computer software. Navina, what is computer software?
Yes, sir. It
Ah,
is nothing but a hardware plus
mm.
software plus hardware.
Software plus hardware is different, software is different. They work
One.
together, but hardware is
Oh,
different, software is different. I am asking just software, not hardware. What is computer software? See, hardware and software both are parts of computer environment. Okay,
yes.
software,
Uh,
set
is
of
um
set of
uh,
programs, set of
correct.
programs which takes
Input
uh,
plus mm,
which
process
takes input,
process and they gives the output.
comma, process the input, process process the input
You'll get the output.
based on business logic, based on business logic, and provides output, output or outcome. Say set of programs which takes input, process the input, and provides output. Next, programs. What is program? Program, set of instructions or statements, set of instructions or statements. Next, what is statement? Already we discussed. What is statement, Banasri?
Sir, executable unit,
Yes, a minimal,
minimal executable unit.
good, a minimal executable unit. Unit. Okay, continuation. Types of software. Types of software. See, in the IT industry, different types of software available. We can segregate them in three categories. Three categories. First category, system software. First category, system software. Example, operating systems, OS, device drivers, etc. What is the functionality of system software? System software used to operate computer hardware and software. System software used to operate computer hardware and software. Example, operating systems, device drivers, etc. See Windows, Unix, next Unix flavors, Linux, Solaris, etc. Next, development software. Development software. What is the purpose of development software? Banasri, purpose of development software. Used to develop software applications. Development software used to develop software applications. Can you give some examples, Navina, for development software?
Sir,
Ah,
C, C++, Java,
ah.
C++.
Oh yes, just a minute. Device drivers means printer drivers, etc. See development software. See development software used to develop software applications. Example, programming languages C, C++, next Java, .NET. It is suite of technologies from Microsoft, etc. Next, third one, application software. What is the purpose of application software? Tell me, Geeta, purpose of application software. Geeta.
To
Ah,
to develop an application product.
to develop software for business operations. Okay? To develop software for business operations. Example, banking software, banking software, next ERP software, next suppose hospital management system, insurance application, etc. See, these are the three categories of software. See, system software, programming software or development software, next application software. What is system software? Tell me, Navina. Last topic for the day. What is system software?
Yes, sir.
What is the purpose of system software?
Yes, sir. Yeah, use it to operate on a computer, software as well as hardware.
Yes, use it to operate system software, use it to operate computer hardware and software, both.
Like,
Next, what is what is development software? Banasri, development software.
Sir, to develop the program
To develop application software.
development software, sir.
What is development software? What is the purpose of development software? To develop software applications.
Yeah, to develop software applications.
Example, C, C++,
C++.
Java, .NET, etc. Next, last one, application software. What is application software? Purpose.
It is a purpose to operate some business operation.
To perform some
So-
business operations.
Yeah.
Business operations. Okay, put mute. Say, system software limited. You cannot find thousands of operating systems or device drivers. Only limited. Next, development software also limited. You can't find hundreds of programming languages, hundreds of databases, etc. But application software unlimited. Banking softwares, insurance software, ERP, e-commerce, healthcare, telecom, etc. Application software unlimited. system software, next development software limited. See, most of the time we get a chance to test business software. Third, application software. See, 90%, more than 90% software comes under application software, development software, and system software limited. Okay, we will meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.